Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Eliott Wave update for Jasmy. I'm going to get into the smaller time frame counts over here in a moment, but just a quick recap on the daily. Off of our significant low at 00296, have this as a 5-wave impulse to the upside to complete a larger degree wave 1, working on wave 2 before our blast off for our potential third wave. Now, important things to note when mapping this out. Our targets for our wave 3, you take the Fibonacci tool from beginning of wave 1 off the top of wave 1, off of our wave 2. Your target for your third wave is the 1.618 extension, which we just came through right here. Now, your expectation for a fourth wave is between the 236 and the 50. You can see we hit that. That's your Fibonacci tool of wave 3, that retracement. Now, to get your wave 5, you take the length of wave 1, extend that off the fourth wave, and look for the 1-to-1 extension, where wave 5 equals wave 1. So you can see we have a pretty ideal Eliott wave. You can also check your RSI, see our peak RSI is in the third of the third, and our most volume is in the third wave. So everything is telling us that this is a completed wave. Now, important to note, this is now correcting from the top of this wave 5, these entire 5 waves. If we took at which makes a larger wave 1. If you look at our first wave 1, you see how much time it takes to correct. Usually between a 618 and a 1-to-1 in time. Excuse me, let me reset that chart. Now, I took the length of that wave 5, which is a larger wave 1, again, in the bullish scenario. And minimum requirement I would use to consider this complete is the 30%, which is right here at around August 15th. Ideally, we come to the 618 to the 1-to-1, which is all the way into October. Now, I don't think it'll take that long based on the rest of the market, but at least I want to hit this August 15th. Now, we don't even have to come back to these zones, by the way. We have hit the 236, which is a minimum requirement for me in a very bullish market. As you can see, we've already come through that. But this is a very complex area, and I personally would only suggest taking it wave by wave until you have a accurate high probability count to take a trade off of. So what we look for in wave 2s is sharp patterns, either as a WXY combination or an ABC. Right now we have an ABC for our A wave, so we can easily, let me draw this out, we have an ABC, we can easily have a W. I don't think this X wave is done yet. I think we got to pull up X and another Y wave as another ABC similar to this. That is a scenario 1. But if we come past the 90% retracement of this entire A wave, that opens up to the possibility for getting a running flat, which in that scenario we can actually come as high as the 1.236 and the 1.382. So in a running flat scenario, we can come all the way up to this zone. And how that pans out is a 3. This becomes very complex, 3, and then we make a 5-wave move down, and we protect the A wave low before continuing on. You can see that's still quite a move overall from this price. If we make it up there, that's almost 100% move, and still in a correction. But why it's so important to know that is the fact that we're going to get this fast drop after, similar to this. This is not impulsive. If you try and make an impulse out of this wave, this is clearly a triangle shape right here, which you cannot get in a wave 2. You can get a triangle looking shape as a WXY, but you cannot have a triangle. Wave 4 cannot overlap with wave 1, which it is right here. So your only option for this to be bullish is in the middle of a diagonal, in which case I would say it's not going to get far anyway. It's not going to take off without you. So I'm going to talk about this smaller time frame here, but my expectation is a equal length leg of this A wave for a C wave whenever this B ends. Bs are the most annoying things to trade because they can be so many different options. Okay, let's talk about the current move. This is my current point of view. This can change, and if the structure changes, I will update this video. But this is our A wave low, looking to complete a B wave, which again can be very complex. We started off our B wave as a zigzag, have this as a W wave. Initially, last video, I was looking for this move, but as the structure is filling out, we're still in the middle of this B wave. I think this is making a larger ABC flat in between this W and Y wave. This is still all the same correction right here. Indications of that is the top of this move is a 5-wave move. So I'll dig into that. So we have our W wave as an ABC. We have a complex A wave, double zigzag, or sorry, a flat and a zigzag for our A wave. Double zigzag for our B wave, ABC, ABC, which makes the B wave. I hope this isn't too complicating for everybody, but just keep it simple with retracements and extensions, right? We know this is most likely an A wave. Our B wave can come as high as 3.485 cents. And we can get a 1-to-1 of this A wave like so before continuing on our Y wave. So I'm going to talk about this area right here. If this ends up making a 5-wave move, let's go down to the 15-minute. Remember, we're looking for a C wave. If this ends up making a 5-wave move as an impulse, which it can in a flat, an ABC, that takes us, I pulled from wave 1 off wave 2. Third wave target for the C wave is 2.595 cents. And our fifth wave target is between 2.41 and 2.48. It would come out just like this. But our C wave equaling our A wave, the 1-to-1, is at 2.645 cents. So if we we might come a little shy on targets, maybe hit the 1.382 and not the 1.618. But just to be clear, if we do make a idealized impulse here for our Eliott wave C wave, it's going to be an expanded flat, which is where our B wave makes a higher high above the previous wave, and our C wave makes a lower low. Very difficult pattern if you're trading to stay involved in. So my suggestion is to wait, and there is a long opportunity over here to the upside. And the way I would play that is, if, say, this wave pans out exactly as seen, look for a 5-wave move off the low and look for support at the previous 4th wave over here. And your trade setup would look something like this. Targeting, let's see if it shows up. No, it's not showing up. But targeting that 90%, where is it? I'll find it for you here. At 4.1 cents. Sorry, let me throw that back on. 4.1 cents. If you get that set up, you're looking at about a 5-to-1, as you can see. That also lines up right at the 50 and the 618, which is this red move you can see here, this red retracement. Just a very messy chart. Sorry about that. So this retracement right here is this W wave up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a pivot there. Remember, this is all a W. This is all one correction here, and we're looking for a matching leg of this one after. You can also help your targeting later and target the one-to-one when this X wave completes. All right, I may have just overcomplicated everything for everybody, but this is how heavily involved Eliott Wave can be if you're trying to analyze things properly. You have to be aware of all the options, and this is the one I think is most probable right now. In validation of that, of this count, it's literally just this B wave high, in which case I'll come back and reanalyze. That's around 3.352 cents, so just that high, and this becomes invalid. All right, guys, that's it for Jasmy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.